Behold, iX.
This is XDrive, it's 40 and it retails for just over £86,000. This is the future of BMW. We've got this for around 10 days and we're heading to Thirsk, to Twisted Automotive with Erin Baker. This thing's crazy. Coupe style rear doors. An interior camera. You never thought you'd see one of those in one of these.
So selfies all around.
Is your acoustic suite composed by Hans Zimmer? It's been charging for just over an hour. Got 13% of battery and 34 miles. That's 12 miles. Not bad for an hour. Just means that even with a home charger, you can still put a small chunk on that's perfect for going for, say, a weekly shop. To remove, merely press unlock. That light will go amber and you can remove the cable.
As soon as you lay eyes on the iX, you can see it's something special. Is this the future of BMW in the UK? I don't know. What I do know is that this is what you've come to expect from the brand and much, much more. The cabin is finished exquisitely, solid build quality, intuitive design, using recycled material where possible, with a mix of finishes, and you can customise the interior to your heart's content. It's got supportive and adaptable seats, teched up to the nines, and still comfortable after many hours sitting in them, which is something we can attest to. And even at Ben's height of 6'3", it's got decent headroom and masses of legroom, front and rear. It's intelligent with a whole host of technology. Automatic LED lights all round, and features including the bad weather light system that replaces the front fog lights, as well as oodles of convenience, including parking assist, a heads-up display and power tailgate. And if the standard spec doesn't cut it, you can option up, for example, laser lights.
Decent boot size, quite deep, but height-wise, well, the thing is, you've got everything under here like charging cables. But no, you'll easily get your shopping in there and a few suitcases. So we'll turn right here and go to Sedbergh. It's so easy to drive this. I mean, we've even got ventilated seats. Relaxed is not the word. Everything's so clear and simple to see. So you've got your digital cluster and you've got your infotainment screen here. And it can do things like wash the cameras. Everything's just well laid out. I mean, you expect a certain level with BMW anyway, but this surpasses it. Okay. Steep hills aren't a problem for this. It just pulls like a train, literally. I think it's well over 600 newton meters of torque, and if you go for the M60, that's closer to 1100. The XDrive system works well. It feels well planted at all times. That's obviously helped by the lane keep assist system and the pure weight of this thing. Put it into B, go into one pedal driving. So when I back off, see, I don't even need to brake for this. When it gets to a point which it classes as safe, it will allow you to coast. So it's not permanently heavy braking. Quite a clever system. Now it's wow. Transit Connect just came around the corner like a bullet. Travelling at 60 just isn't a problem in this. It'll corner like a car due to its weight. Even with my foot down like this, it isn't excessively using range, which is nice. Well, we can literally mirror what this Micra's doing. And that says something. The thing is, I'm not needing to brake because it's doing most of it. Look at this for a landscape. And then we can come out of the bends far quicker. Because of its weight, it just stays planted to the road. It's remarkable, isn't it, Annabelle?
It's superb. It's the only word for it.
Because let's face it, the Micra's hardly plodding, is it?
No, it is not.
So there you have it. Pulling up hills, not a problem. If I put my foot down, I can still accelerate like I would on the flat. Cluster's nice and straightforward to read. You've got your digital speedo on the left, and on the right hand side you can see we're in B mode. And here, this is your e-power. So you can see how much you're regenning and how much you're using. Now with it being an SUV and it being heavy, it leans. It's not excessive body roll, but it's a big old SUV. It's going to, but that makes it comfortable for the driver and the passenger. But it's still remarkably agile. Also, there's no wind noise whatsoever. You can't even hear tyre noise, can you?
No.
And that's
saying something.
with 22-inch wheels. Mind you, it's a decent profile tyre, so it does add comfort to it. You don't need to go for 22s, you can go for 20s. But it's one of those vehicles, I look at it and think actually 22s suited. They don't look oversized at any point.
No, they don't. It's all very well proportioned, isn't it?
It is. The B mode is actually braking still on this steep hill. It'll be interesting to see what kind of steepness we need to override it. Because invariably electric vehicles, when they get to a certain level, the regen just can't hold them back. It's a bit narrow around here. Saying that, I've not had any of the sensors gone crazy yet. So it's not overzealous in that way. Well, we set off with 109, but it wasn't used to my driving style. So when it got used to that, it dropped to 97. And that was probably 15 miles ago. And it's now showing 89. If you remember 3 or 4 miles ago, it was 87.
There's a thunderstorm on the way.
So now we're in Sedbergh. Many moons ago, Annabelle used to do mystery shops here, didn't you?
I did.
44% of battery. It's very, very good at economising this. And look at, whoa, it's steering. Wow, it's like really steering.
Interesting.
Look at it. It's doing all this. I'm doing none of it. Oh, it's now realised that I'm not holding the steering wheel quite as hard as it could be. It's seen the parked car. Okay, instead it braked, so if I steer around it, it will then go. There we go. And I think we'll turn right here.
We do?
And then left.
Yep.
Yeah, thought so.
Oh,
Perfect.
BMW.
I know, very courteous. Now you might be thinking I'm taking pretty wide berths, but bottom line is I do not want to damage a set of 22s.
And it is a big car, isn't it? It's a big SUV.
Yeah, it's very big. I think realistically it could be a 7-seater, couldn't it?
I suppose with the amount of room that we've got. Yeah. Oh, whoa.
Cool. Garsdale and Hawes.
The A68 feel it.
I'm saying a cheese factory up here, isn't it? Could be Wensleydale. Cracking cheese grommet. So Garsdale, Hawes and Northallerton. Okay.
So, Sedbergh, we were doing a range check. How we're doing? I know we kind of done it.
Okay, another priority bridge. Very Postman Pat style, these.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah. Okay, Annabelle. Quick trivia. How many miles range do you reckon we have?
90, maybe 91.
So you think it's gone up?
Yes,
We're travelling through a village.
It was going up.
Yeah, but it only goes up when you go down a hill.
Okay, well, it stayed the same then. Is it 88?
No, it's 89. So it has actually gone up. Yeah, but it really shouldn't have done. Think about it. We've just navigated all the way through a small village.
I don't know.
On and off the accelerator.
It just seemed to me that it was going to go up. I don't know why.
Okay, but predominantly that's not what an electric car does. The more you're on and off with the accelerator, and the more range it's going to use. No, I was a bit wary of what we actually get to ripping on what we had as range.
But we're easily going to do it, aren't we?
Yeah, I can probably even use sport at some point. So
I'd rather you didn't.
I know. So this is the way that I went to Grenadier, and I had a D-Max, and I think this is probably similar to its width, maybe even its length, to be honest.
I reckon it's about a similar size, yeah.
So I've come off adaptive now, I'm going to use one pedal driving. It's far more satisfying too. Visibility in here, big windscreen, big side windows, B-pillar, not so bad, but you've got blind spot detection anyway. Now when we head up here, Annabelle will recognise this. Look.
Oh.
We're going up into hills, love.
Aye.
87 miles of range.
We have 41 miles to go.
Yeah, they're a bit.
Blimey.
Yeah, that's a bit crazy. So effortless. Red squirrels. Wow.
Excellent.
How relaxing. Did I mention that my seat has massage? Sorry, passenger. For some reason, yours doesn't. Be interesting to see if that's an option. I think I'm running something like, is it lumbar training? So heated, ventilated and massaged. Wow.
No, you're on lumbar activation.
Ah, very nice. Beautiful. Now we're coming into Richmondshire. These vehicles have some of the biggest batteries on the market. This one's around 76. And I think the XDrive 50 has closer to, I think it's 105. But what you have to bear in mind about a vehicle like this is it's around 2.5 ton, because it's got to have a fair few batteries. The other thing about this is it's a completely new platform, so it's been developed specifically for electric BMWs. Also, its construction, the material it's made of, it's not conventional metal. It's like the carbon composite you find in the i8 and the i3, which means it's rigid and strong, but it flexes to a point too. So the iX, considering it's a massive SUV, granted it's only a 5-seater, it's so agile. That doesn't really go with the territory with something like this. You expect it. Ooh, pheasants. Oh, that's another way to Kirby Stephen.
Oh.
So that, I wonder if that's, my word.
That's an oldie. Yeah.
Wow, a lapwing.
The border and we're in North Yorkshire now.
I'm not familiar with this road. Probably driven it a handful of times. Range update, 74 miles and 37%.
And we have 32 miles to go.
We're doing very well, aren't we? I do think it's a beautiful area. We don't drive up here very often, but it's not that far away, is it? We've gone past that hedge pretty closely. Speaking of that kind of thing, safety-wise, we've got AEB, collision detection, things like collision mitigation.
We know it's got blind spot detection.
Yep.
Traffic sign recognition.
It's got assisted parking. I know that's more a convenience.
That 360 camera's excellent, isn't it?
I was going to say. It's kitted out with exactly what it needs. 326 brake horsepower and 0 to 60 in 5.9. You expect it to be a lumbering beast, and it just isn't. I mean, yes, you get body roll, but that comes with the territory with something of this size. Arguably, this could be a 7-seater, and it's only a 5. Now, to put this in context, it's the same length as the Sanyong Musso, and it's just, I think it's a touch wider than a Sanyong Musso.
Wow. Well, you can attest for yourself how well it handles. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's very good. Considering its size, it is very good.
And you've got great visibility.
Yeah.
And the range doesn't really seem to drain much, does it?
If anything, its coasting system with D is amazing. You've also got B as well, which gives you heavier braking.
And that would give you your regen level, yeah.
Yeah. Heads-up display, Overwatch, which is pretty unbelievable. I mean, for a start, this vehicle's got, I think it's 20 times more computing power than any other BMW ever made.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But as you said before, it's an entirely new platform, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quiet as well. It's well refined.
Oh, sorry, fingers.
And it's easy to drive. It's intuitive in its Overwatch system. If you put it in coast and it thinks you're going too fast into a bend, it'll just scrub off some of the speed. Same with if it detects a vehicle in front. But other than that, it is quite lenient. some of these systems do kick in and say, nope, sorry, you're going far too fast. Like it scrubbed a fair bit off there. I'm not surprised, it's a 90-degree angle. Whoa. You get a grounded truck there quite easily. Look at the flowers. Another one.
On a bend, of all places, to try and overtake the bloody horse.
It definitely was Appleby Horse Fair, wasn't it?
Yeah, either is or it has been, yeah.
Okay, so Ingleton.
Yeah, we're in the Yorkshire Dales now, aren't we?
Yeah.
179 a litre. Gosh.
I know. Don't have that challenge with this, do we?
Nope.
Wensleydale Pantry.
Ooh.
This is Hawes, isn't it?
Ah, yeah, Walton's of Halls. So where's the cheese place? We're coming for you, cheese place.
I think it's on the outskirts. Look at this.
Ooh.
Cobbledy.
Very cobbledy.
Could do with a rotary lane. Saying that, it's not invasive on the ride, is it?
No.
It's not bangy. It bouncy.
Kind of eats them up.
Yeah.
Well, we
That's a
knew
good
the
job.
suspension was good, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
You've got a lot of information and a lot of apps and a lot of different pizzas.
Different pizzas.
Different pizzas. As you can see, there's lots in this infotainment. Now you can actually go to the home button and scroll through, but there are shortcut buttons, and I'm going to use mine here. Now, Ben said that his ventilator seat is getting a bit cold for him.
A bit chilly.
Bit chilly. So I've now used my shortcut button to get to this. So I'm going to go into the drivers, and I'm going to go to climate, and I'm going to turn down. I'll turn it off in this case. His ventilated seats. Mine, I might turn up. There we go. And then go back to home. See? Lots of stuff here.
I'm mesmerised by the range. We've got 73 miles left. Now, when this first came, I thought, 250 mile range, is that actually enough for what we need to do? And it is. It's like the EV6 in that way. It does far more miles than you actually give it credit for, because it can recoup left, right and centre, and it does. And 34%.
And
So
we've got
20%, haven't we?
And we've got 23 miles to go.
Horseby Apple Fair.
So is this Appleby?
No.
Oh. Hello.
Enjoying their grass.
Hello.
Okay, so
So keep on this road for the next 10 miles, please, Benjamin.
and MGF.
Don't see those many of those around here.
Not now. Well, not here either. We've still got 73 miles of range, and that includes 50 miles an hour that we've been travelling for about 4 or 5 miles. Has this exceeded your expectations, Annabelle?
In every way. The range is just fantastic. The way that it actually recoups.
I know.
It's seamless. It just eliminates range anxiety.
Yeah. Well, I think it's about the 5th generation of the technology, isn't it?
And it shows the way that they've actually brought it step by step up and even exceeding expectations of
Right,
what
I'm
can be
doing
achieved.
50. Sorry, Annabelle. This is 50. And a corner like this. In an SUV that weighs well over 2 tonne, I'd expect. It just it doesn't move.
And there is less body roll than you would expect for an SUV of this size.
Especially at this speed.
Yeah.
Look at that for a classic garage. MGs. Like something like an Austin Healey as well. I think there's car meets there, Annabelle.
Interesting.
Yeah. The Forbidden Corner. This is where we were going to venture, wasn't it, before COVID?
Oh God, I remember now, yeah. I had to think then, because obviously it's been that long.
It's like something out of Labyrinth. A cross between Harry Potter and
You remind me of the Babe.
You Do Voodoo. Power
Babe.
and such. Still got 73 miles of range too.
And we've got 12 miles to go.
If you opt for D mode, then it's amazing how far this vehicle coasts. Keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. Rawhide.
Rolling, rolling, rolling.
You accelerate for a little bit and then it'll just keep going with the momentum for
quite a while.
I was going to say, it's going to be...
Because you're still rolling, are you?
Well, according to this, the economy is 99.5. I'm still rolling since when I accelerated back there. It calls it coasting, so I wonder if it gives it a little bit of something. It may just be freewheeling. If so, wow. But I reckon there's some kind of sorcery there. Yep, still rolling. And I don't think you would have rolled this far in, say, a Ford Sierra. Let's roll. My word. Plant's going at the top.
Aston Martin.
Wow.
DB7.
Ooh, DB9.
DB7.
9.
Vantage. There's
Says 9
two.
on it. Oh, wow, the DB7's the one that's built on the XK. I didn't see the 7, you know, I just saw the 9.
And I didn't see the 9, I saw the 7. Do you want to do a quick range check?
71 miles of range.
And in total, it's 8.8 miles. Impressive.
It makes you wonder how many miles of range we've used for this.
So it's better to the right.
Is it about 80?
I think so.
Yeah. I reckon we've used maybe 45, 50 at the most. Ripping. We're in Lightwater Valley country. Wow, these are beautiful, aren't they?
They are.
He just sails along. The coasting is remarkable. I have not got my foot on the accelerator and we're just sail away, on that way, sail away. Oh, is that Enya?
Yeah, it's Enya, yes.
Nothing. No accelerator whatsoever.
That's bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah. If you put it in coast and it thinks you're going too fast into a bend, it'll just scrub off some of the speed. Same with if it detects a vehicle in front. But other than that, it is quite lenient. Some of these systems do kick in and say, nope, sorry, you're going far too fast. Like it scrubbed a fair bit off there. I'm not surprised, it's a 90-degree angle.
That's it, you're going to want it to scrub off.
Yeah, but it doesn't do it to the point that it's like mollycoddling you. It does. It lets you have some fun, because some of them are like, nope, you're going far too fast. Whereas it knows, or it's calculated somehow by using satellite navigation and whatever, and like I think it's 9 cameras and a shed load of sensors, that actually you can do that bend. And even if it's a bit too steep, it'll pop up in your heads-up display. Speaking of that, you can see everything. See your navigation. You can also tune what appears in it by using the little rotary on the steering wheel. It's the same with the cluster. You can choose between the heads-up or the cluster. The steering's nice and weighty, and it gets heavier depending on which mode you're in. You've got sport, efficient, personalised. Put it into sport. My word.
Oh, here we go.
That's the limit.
Oh,
You feel that? It's like roller coaster. You get pinned in the
we
headrest.
both did, yes, completely.
The thing that gets me about this is there's no wheel spin, because it's got like some kind of electronic limited slip diff. It just it digs its heels in and goes. It'll be interesting to see what this is like on a motorway now. I don't think it's going to be quite as guzzly as we first thought. They look like mammoths.
They do, don't they?
Yes. Wow. You can pull onto a motorway in absolutely next to no time. When I charged it before, speaking of charging, you can charge it up to, I think it's 80% in 35 minutes, because it will take 150 kilowatt. Go for the uprated models like the M60, and they'll take a 200 kilowatt charger. This is the future of BMW. It's so effortless. But even now it's detected that there's a bend in front, so it's scrubbing just enough off to make it safe. Remarkable. Well, this is the Swinton Estate. It's a bit like Goodwood in that way. Enjoy your visit. Ah, yes, we will indeed.
It's a beautiful building, isn't it? Or
It is.
buildings.
The architecture. Look at this, it pulls away without me putting my foot on the pedal. Okay.
It's time to meet the neighbours. Hello. We're at the Swinton estate.
I take it this is Thirsk then?
It is.
Can't be far from Twisted Automotive.
Twisty roads. Towards Twisted Automotive, get it? Yeah.
That's what it looks like, isn't it?
8:51 on the nose-ish.
Time to climb Sutton Bank. Seeing I'm near Thirsk, it's worth the adventure. I'll also film some of the exterior of the car when we get to the top. Now this won't be a problem for an electric SUV. It'll just pull like a train, literally. Now this would be steep for many vehicles. Something like this, it just isn't. It really isn't. Into Cold Kirby. Terrains like this, not really a problem. You've got a decent ride height and it's all-wheel drive. I'm just driving very gingerly due to it being a 90 grand SUV. Well, I've had a nice chill sat here, and now I'm about to head off because I've got 38 miles of range to 4 Instavolt chargers, and it looks like they're just outside Thirsk. You may pay a premium, but it just makes it far easier. That's how easy it is. Tap payment card, plug in, tap payment card to finish. This has to be the simplest infrastructure for electric vehicles. MG5 sat behind me as well. 100% charged. Oh, it's 100%. Interesting, not 80. At 234. It shows you what it'll take. So that's about 40 as it said, but it will take 150. Nice and easy to read. You can see the cables plugged in. You can see the range and the percentage of battery. And you can see the way that I currently drive, 231 mile total range. Nice and straightforward though. Charge complete, 54% battery, 99 miles added, £17.68. Took 46 minutes. There we go. It's so easy to close these. Done. Time to head back to the Swinton estate, to the hotel, rendezvous with Annabelle. Now we've got 127 miles of range and 54% of battery. That'll easily do us to get back to Silverdale. I think realistically we'll probably use 50 miles doing 80 or 90. That's pretty much what it was like on the way. So we're back once again at the Swinton Hall estate. This is beautiful, this place. While Annabelle's off-roading, I'm going to turn this into a mobile office. I've got my laptop, my mouse mat. It's certainly roomy enough. Well, I'm nice and comfortable. I can even get my feet under the seats as well. Mobile office, anyone? Well, I'm impressed with this. Just enough room. Chargers there, heated seat, my own climate control. I've even misted over the sunroof. It's so far to the front. It's ridiculously roomy. Ah, coat hook. The one thing that is missing, grab handle, not one. You've got reach and rake in the steering wheel, and if you can see that little joystick, that's the electronic adjustment for it. It's also built into the memory as well. So when you get into your vehicle, your seat and your steering wheel's in the perfect position.
Thank you, Swinton Park. So we're on our way home, aren't we, Ben?
We are. We've got 81 miles of range and 49 miles to go, but I don't think we're going to use anywhere near that. If anything to go by is the journey that we came on.
Yeah, it actually makes sense in a long-winded kind of way, doesn't it?
I know. It's
Very
Wensleydale
tired.
something or other with like a...
Ooh.
I think it was... I'm going to say it was a pig in a boat. What's he doing?
Pretty gardens around here.
So it's going to be a leisurely run home, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've been playing with the various driving modes, and I've noticed when you put it in D, it will coast and coast and coast and coast. But if you're going too fast, it will scrub off some speed for, say, a bend, and also vehicles that you're approaching.
So it has got environmental awareness.
It's got something about it.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Nicely done.
Straight through. Speaking of that, this has got a good turning circle.
Yes, it has. Because I was thinking when I was driving it out, then I was like, ooh, is it going to be a bit... Oh, no, it's fine. There wasn't even a blip from the
Considering
sensor.
its size, it doesn't feel it, does it?
No.
No, it's agile. And it's even when you throw it around bends, you expect a massive SUV to be seriously wallowy, and it isn't. Yeah, you can feel the body move on top of the chassis, but it's not to the point that where it goes, it just holds it. I mean, look at all the roads we're going on now.
Yeah. How's the steering?
Pretty weighty. 78 miles of range and 34% of battery. And it's coasting now. I've also noticed it won't regen when it's in D and it's coasting. When I was coming down Sutton Bank before, I thought, right, I'm going to test this. So I just backed off with my accelerator and it held it pretty much, I'd say 98%. It slowly started to creep when you got to seriously steep. Instead of feeling like regen, it feels more like hill descent control, and a strong one at that.
Look at that. Wow. So we've gone into creep mode now, haven't we?
No, it stopped.
Stopped. It stopped completely. I thought it might just creep slowly, but nope, stopped. Wow.
I say, I didn't expect that. This is the twistiest bridge in the world ever.
Twisty bridge.
You can see the heads-up display. So this is what it's like on a straight. We'll film it again when it comes up because it will show you bends in the road too. That brake then for that car, and I've not got adaptive set, so it'll do that in normal driving mode too. When you go into a bend at a certain speed, if it thinks that's a challenge, like now it's starting to scrub off some of the speed, and it's scrubbed enough off to get around, so it doesn't mollycoddle you on a back road. It does give you quite a bit of freedom, but you can feel it lift off when it thinks there's no way on earth you're going to get around that bend, which is nice to have Overwatch, to be honest. But it's not overzealous, and it doesn't commandeer the vehicle. When I'm in D mode and just cruising, I'm very, very rarely over 25% of power. That's just ample. Okay, so clear. It's just peaceful and tranquil driving one of these. It just does all the, I suppose, arduous driving so easily. I mean, essentially it's driving itself. Even when it's not in adaptive, it's permanently monitoring and it's permanently saying, actually, is this the right course of action?
That is very cute.
Little trailer. Yeah, we should come to the cheese factory. I've been trying to come here for about, I think it's 25 years.
Oh, not long then.
Talk about patchwork quilt roads. Well, look at this.
I know, but it is.
What?
Range check, please.
Okay. 63 miles and 28% of battery.
35 miles to go.
We're in efficient mode as well. But what I've noticed is, even because when Annabella was at Twisted, I nipped down some dual carriageways on the A1M to see what it was like, and even travelling at higher motorway speeds, it wasn't depleting range. Whilst travelling at that speed, it was just depleting it if you floored it. But pulling 0 to 60 in 5.9 with 326 horsepower, if you've got your foot flat to the floor, you're going to deplete like nobody's business, aren't you?
Yes, exactly.
Look at this, another crazy bridge. Look at that.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. It's even showing me on the heads-up display now I've got tight left. Adverse weather conditions just don't affect this. Doesn't matter if it's bucketing down with rain or if it's heavy winds. It just stays planted like a rock.
And it is rather windy at the moment, isn't it? It's blustery.
It's very blustery. Now the BMW iX might have quite a high price tag, but what you get for the money. It's luxurious, it's practical, it's teched up, it's got serious Overwatch. Weirdly, it doesn't zap the range even when you floor it. And it's so intelligent. Believe it or not, it's actually got I think it's 20 times more computing power than any other BMW ever.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, you get decent servicing and warranty from BMW too.
Yeah, it's ticking all the boxes, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's a pleasure to drive.
What a view.
In my eyes, give the iX a chance.
You'll be amazed at where it can take you.
Not the cat, me.
Oh.
Got 9% of battery and 22 miles of range. But we did deviate off to the chip shop. And all the way back I was 60 miles an hour. So it's done exceptionally well. I have noticed that things like the readings have changed colour now. I can't remember what the original colour was, but I can now see they're like a, is it a yellowy green?
Yes. Warning us that, yes.
And it does give you a warning at around, I think it's 40%.
Yes, that warning did come up, yes.
But it's done very well, hasn't it?
It's been brilliant. Well, thank you very much, BMW.
Should I put it in the right place?
Yeah.
So there you go, that's our roundup. Hope you've enjoyed the road trip.
Because we certainly have.
Yeah, I know it's done a sterling job, hasn't it, going all the way to Thirsk?
It's been very smooth.
It's been a joy.
Yeah. This is definitely a long journey family vehicle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Without
You just
a
look
doubt.
at it, it's about 3 miles to the back.
You're right when you said this could actually be a 7-seater quite easily.
I think it's not that far off an X7, which is a 7-seater BMW.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you have it.
Yeah. Thank you.